Hi everybody, my name's Tony Staunton and welcome back to The Productive Entrepreneur, helping you to get organised, get productive and make more profit. Now, in this lecture, it's something that's very close to my heart and something that I think every entrepreneur believes in to their very core. And I think it's what makes the difference between success and failure, or else a very large part of what makes a difference between success and failure. Some call it perseverance, some call it stubbornness, but I think it's best described as grit. And we have an excellent quote here from Robin Sharma, who, if you haven't seen any of his videos on YouTube, I definitely suggest you look him up. He said, "Your ICANN is more important than your IQ." And he's so true. Having the belief in your idea, your vision, your purpose, your goals is far more important than how smart you think you are or you think you are not. So when we talk about grit, what do I mean? Well, why is it that some people seem to be destined to succeed and others don't? How is it that some people are able to plough through the challenges of life, where for others the same barriers are unsurmountable? Is this something that you learn or something that you are born with? And what are examples of people who have stuck with it despite the odds? Take for example some of the world's richest and most successful people. Some of them were college dropouts, some of them were high school dropouts, some of them didn't even go to school. Take Sir Richard Branson. Now, if you haven't read his book, his autobiography, Losing My Virginity, I suggest you read it. It is one of the best business biographies I have ever read. Richard Branson is proud to admit that he's been dyslexic all his life and has always fought against the odds, from teachers who didn't believe in his ideas to people who didn't believe in his business ideas. If you were to think billionaire, philanthropist and worldwide media tycoon and airline owner, he would probably not jump to mind several years ago. Or how about Henry Ford, who was born in poverty? He never went to school, but went on to build Ford Motor Company and became one of the richest men in the world. And there are many more to consider. Thomas Edison, Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey, Rockefeller, Martha Stewart, Bill Gates, and many, many more. So how come they all did so well, despite of lack of education or anything else that the rest of us might take for granted? I think the answer comes down to grit, perseverance, stubbornness. And here we have another saying. I'm not too sure who said it, it's probably just an old saying, and it goes like, "I'm successful in business because I'm lucky, but I didn't get lucky until I started working 90 hours a week." And that comes back to our perseverance and the habit of grit. Some people think that businesses, big businesses, are overnight hits. Twitter, Facebook, Tesla, and many, many other big businesses, but they're not. Take for example Twitter. Twitter was a long time developing, building, growing and failing before we ever knew about it, and it became the worldwide phenomenon that it is. Overnight success is a rarity. The ones that pop up on our radar have been there for a very, very long time. We just don't know about it. But what has saw them through and brought them to success is perseverance and grit. And here's a great picture that sums it up. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, I could leave this picture here and end the lecture right now. You can see the guy on the top who is chiseling away on his way to the diamonds, eager, hungry, persevering. And the guy on the bottom who is worn out, worn down and has given up, but he is so close to his goal. He is so much closer to his goal than the guy on the top is. And that in one picture sums up business. You have to keep with it. Now sometimes ideas are bad, business models are bad, and it's a good idea to leave them. But what you don't do is stop trying. You try again. You launch another prototype. You follow the lean startup methodology by Eric Ries. And again, if you haven't read his book, read it. Your idea might not be the best idea, but for many founders and the world's most successful people, their first idea was never the idea that brought them success. You have to keep trying. Now here are 4 ways that I think can help you get more grit. First, proof. Prove to yourself that you can do what you set out to do. For instance, have there been times in your life where you set out to do something and at the beginning, the middle or the end you thought that it was too much, you've taken on too much and you can't succeed or you can't complete it. But you did. It might be something like a degree, a job, a project, childbirth. At the time you felt you just couldn't endure or take any more. But eventually you overcame it and you made a success of it. When thinking about grit, first think about ways that you have already proved things to yourself. This is your proof that you have previously made commitments and stuck to them. Secondly, apply your passion. Passion is part of grit because if you want to be able to work hard and long at something, you have to really want it, really believe in it, and really see it. There has to be a deep intrinsic motivator, a fire inside you that makes things worth doing. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up to bow out at the first sign of hardship. If you can't answer the question, why is this important to me, then you won't make it through. Number 3, persistence. There will always come a time in your efforts, your projects, your business to knuckle down and get on with it, where no more reading is necessary, no more learning is necessary, no more research is necessary. You just have to get down and do it. And when it comes to applying the persistence in whatever it is you're doing at the moment, here are some tips to help keep you moving forward. Start with something small that you can do on a regular basis. A small walk, a small run, a small diet. Make it non-negotiable in your mind. Regardless of however you feel that day, do it. If you don't feel like going to the gym, you still must go. Put it into your schedule, because what gets written down there gets done. And always track your progress to remind you that you are moving forward. This is something that comedian Jerry Seinfeld believes in religiously. When somebody asked him how he's so successful, he said that he has a big calendar on his wall, and every day after he had written down his sketches, his jokes, his TV shows, whatever it might be, he would put a red X on the day. And as he saw the red X's increasing, and the line of red X's growing and growing, he became more motivated. So you may not think that tracking your progress is a good idea, but it is key to achieving success and to keep you motivated and moving forward. This is something I've come to call the Seinfeld line, and I use it regularly. Obviously, I use it every day. And the fourth way to increase your grit is to repeat. Keep reinforcing your passion and keep working on your persistence. You can apply what we've just discussed to any behaviour or outcome you want to achieve. Remember, you can do it if you want it bad enough, and you keep working hard until you get it. Small steps until you get there. The fact of the matter is, most of the extraordinary people throughout history, and most of the people you see in Forbes' list of richest people in the world, had to take enormous risks to get there. That almost always means a lot of failing and buckets loads of grit. I know it's easy to assume that successful people have something the rest of us don't. They had it easy. It's their parents. They were lucky. They had a better education. But it's not. The reality is 73 out of the first 100 billionaires in the world are self-made. And that's a Bloomberg fact. So review these 4 tips and get to work. And eventually you will reach your destination. And when you have the bad days, the hard days, the days when you don't want to go on, just remember your goal, your vision, and your purpose, and your why. And always remember, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. So thank you for listening. And as always, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. And I look forward to seeing you in the next lecture.